The Suez Canal was not born as a triumph of engineering alone, but as an open scar carved into human history, a narrow passage sliced through the desert where ambition, power, and blood blended for more than a century. To understand its true weight, we must return to the 19th century, when empires divided the world and fought for every inch of the map. The idea of cutting Egypt in half seemed impossible, but for the French, it was the key to controlling the East. Construction began in 1859, and behind primitive machines stood more than 1 million Egyptian laborers, many forced, many starving beneath the burning sun. The desert swallowed lives without mercy. Estimates suggest that over 100,000 workers died before the first ship ever touched that stretch of water. Every meter carved carried a cost that official history never recorded, but that the desert winds still whisper. When it finally opened in 1869, the Suez Canal was more than a maritime shortcut. It was a new currency of global power. Within weeks, it reshaped trade, rewired routes, crushed economies, and elevated others. But while European leaders celebrated with fireworks and feasts, the Egyptian people lost control of their own land. Crushed by debt, Egypt fell under British rule, and the canal became a geopolitical blade, dividing the world between those who commanded and those who obeyed. Decades later, in the 20th century, one man decided to break the cycle, Gamal Abdel Nasser, in 1956. Before nations that underestimated an entire people, he nationalized the canal. His announcement hit the world like an earthquake. France, the United Kingdom, and Israel launched a brutal and humiliating military attack, the Suez Crisis. But the world had changed. This time, Egypt prevailed, and the canal returned, for the first time, to the hands of those who truly built it. The Suez Canal became the heartbeat of global trade. Today, it carries nearly 12% of everything the world consumes. A single disruption is enough to strain entire economies. And in 2021, the world learned this the hard way. The cargo ship, Ever Given, a 400-meter steel giant, became wedged sideways in the canal. Instantly, the global flow of goods began to collapse. Hundreds of ships piled up across the Mediterranean and the Red Sea. Losses reached almost $10 billion per day. Meanwhile, the internet flooded with memes, a desperate attempt to laugh at a disaster that exposed a deeper truth. Our world is far more fragile than we admit. One accident was enough to reveal how dependent and how vulnerable modern civilization truly is. Today, the Suez Canal remains a narrow line that shapes the economic and political destiny of the planet. It carries the memory of forgotten laborers, suppressed wars, and crises that nearly altered the course of history. But behind every quiet ship that crosses its waters lies something bigger, the reminder that human ambition always comes with a cost. The grandest works of civilization are often rooted in pain. When we look at the Suez Canal, we don't see just a route, we see a mirror reflecting humanity's ambition, violence, and resilience. And every time a cargo ship glides through its waters, it echoes a truth the world prefers to ignore. To open a path, someone always paid the price. If you want more stories that expose what official history tries to hide, subscribe to History Beyond Fact and continue uncovering the truth that lies beyond the facts.